October 15th can't come soon enough. It's the return of the Bronze Bomber, the biggest, most devastating puncher in this heavyweight era, Deontay Wilder. So stay tuned. Let's talk about Wilder versus Helenius. Let's bring up the screen. I think it's here. There we go. Here's the fight. Let's bring this back here. There we go. The fight. Deontay Wilder against Robert Helenius. The return fight for the Bronze Bomber. I've made myself very clear about this fight. I don't think that Deontay Wilder should be coming back against Robert Helenius. As much as it is it's good to see Deontay Wilder back. I still don't think that this is the fight for him to come back on. Because for me, I'd like to see Deontay Wilder, see what Deontay Wilder's got left after that last fight he had with Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder, for me, has always been a guy that's very much had to, I don't know, his punching power and his aura of invincibility, the way he's knocking guys out, that was always in the forefront of a lot of fighters' minds. But now he's been stopped twice. The second fight, the last fight we had, conclusively knocked out. By round 2, he was blown out of his behind. All that pad work Malik Scott was doing, I thought we'd see something different in Wilder. We saw a heavier Wilder. And when he was using the jab, he was very effective. He was able to use the jab, blind Tyson Fury, and hit him with a straight right hand. And he hit Fury so hard, his whole body vibrated when he got hit with that right hand. Fury was able to absorb the punishment and come back. One of the reasons why I believe Fury was able to come back in the fight and win the fight is because Wilder stopped using the jab. That was Fury was not able to. He was unable to see that right hand coming. He didn't see the right hand coming. And I've always said this about Tyson Fury. He, like, when he got knocked down by Nevin Pajcek and when he got dropped by Steve Cunningham, he doesn't see that right hand coming. He doesn't. And against Deontay Wilder again, Wilder was able to mask the right hand behind the left hand. He was able to mask it. If you look at the right hand, he masked it. He turned his body to the side, so you didn't see much of him. And then he shot the right hand straight through the middle. And anytime he hit Tyson, that right hand, Tyson could not get out the way of that shot. So I didn't understand why Malik Scott didn't keep Wilder doing that. So Malik Scott is still in the corner with Wilder for the comeback of this fight. I've said already that Robert Helenius is a dangerous proposition for Deontay Wilder. That is if the Nordic Nightmare fights to a strategy. Okay? So, yes, he's been knocked out by Gerald Washington. And yes, he's been knocked out he got knocked out by somebody else as well. Yes. I would also say that there was a period of time in Robert Helenius' career where he was either disengaged or not interested in boxing. And those knockouts, that could be one of the reasons for the knockouts. I think he was having a little contractual issues. The Nordic Nightmare, at one point, when he was knocking guys out, people were saying he was going to be the next guy after the Klitschko's. You remember all that talk? There was him. David Price was going to be the next guy after the Klitschko's. Remember how that worked out? It's interesting. It was Tony Bell who said he was ready for the Klitschko's right now. Remember that? After he fought Matt Skelton or he fought Augie Harris, he said, yeah, David Price is ready for the heavyweight championship of the world. Well, we saw how that all worked out. Deontay Wilder, we know he has got a brutal right hand. He's got a good jab and he's got a nice left hook. The left hook people don't talk about enough. Shook says, Very interesting in this fight. I want to see how much he has left after the very grueling trilogy. That's the thing. A couple of questions I've got for Deontay Wilder. First of all, how much have you got left in the tank? I don't care how much bag work and pad work you've done with Malik Scott. After I saw the third fight with you and Fury, I was very disillusioned by the work that Malik Scott did with Deontay Wilder. Oh yeah, Malik Scott made some changes. He did. And he brought Wilder in much heavier. And within the second round, it was blown out of his ass. And I haven't seen Wilder look so badly conditioned for a fight. If you look at Wilder's career, go for his career, he's a very well-conditioned heavyweight. But I don't know if it's because he's fighting a guy that's big and heavy in Tyson Fury is why he tied so quickly and Tyson was lean on him. I don't know. Now, Helenius knows Deontay Wilder. He'll know his strengths, he'll know his weaknesses. He would have tasted that right hand. He might not taste that right hand the way he's going to taste on Saturday night. So the way Robert Helenius makes this fight difficult for Deontay Wilder is he actually pushes Wilder onto the back foot. So he nullifies the power in that right hand. But he can't walk through. Like the example of this is where I talked about Joe Smith and Arthur Beterbiev. I said, if you go for the front door of Beterbiev, just walk straight in straight lines against Beterbiev, you're going to walk straight onto a right hand. And that's why Deontay Wilder's going to catch you with a right hand. But if you look at him, if Helenius, he's got the height, he's got the reach, he's got the boxing pedigree, right? He's got the amateur experience behind him. So he's not Gerald Washington or Dominic Brazil. He has got that boxing pedigree behind him. If he can keep his hands up, use the jab, push Wilder back to ropes, and throw the straight right hand, he's got a good chance in his fight if he pushes Wilder back. But if he allows Wilder to come out quickly, start fast, use the jab, take the center of the ring, Helenius has got he's almost got, in his defense, he's got a big circle in his guard. And that circle's like, you could put an X for that circle, and that's where you put Deontay Wilder's right hand. Wilder lets that straight right hand go. He has got the right hand to put Helenius out of his. He could put him into a Alabama nightmare with one straight right hand straight through the middle because Helenius is open to that straight right hand. If the fights he's been knocked out in, if he hasn't learned from those knockout defeats, if he hasn't learned from those knockout defeats, then he will be laying on the canvas very early in this fight against Deontay Wilder. So if this is his last chance saloon, he's got to back Wilder up with the double jab. He's got to push Wilder back. And he's got to get him to those ropes. He's got to get inside. He's got to lean on him. He's got to use a similar strategy to what Tyson Fury did. That's the way he beats Wilder. However, if he comes through the front door and he comes straight up, what I mean by come through the front door, just march straight forward, he's going to walk onto a 1-2 from Deontay Wilder. Now, Deontay Wilder himself, there are question marks. Is he a confidence fighter? Well, we're not really going to know it because now he's been knocked out. He got stopped before, but when he got stopped before, he protested and said, well, I shouldn't have been stopped. This time, the referee had to stop counting him out. He wasn't getting up. He got beaten and he got knocked out. Now, people will still disputing Tyson Fury and the background of that. And in some ways, I don't blame them because of the whole thing with the Conor Benn situation. I don't blame some people in some corners. We're not going there, but I don't blame them. All right? I don't blame them. With Glovegate and all this, I don't blame them. But at the same time, Tyson Fury knocked out Deontay Wilder in a way that it's a sort of knockout defeat. It wasn't like a one-shot knockout punch like how Lewis got knocked out by Rackman or he got knocked out by McCall. That was a sustained punishment. You're getting off the deck early and then systematically getting beaten up and then eventually getting knocked out. Some of the shots, he was taking flush shots from Tyson Fury, from a big man who was 19 stone. That can do your career no favors. He's taken rest, yes. But what he's got left is, I just don't know. I have no idea what Wilder's got left. he looks like Deontay Wilder, but just like how David Haye looked like David Haye until he fought Tony Bellew, we just don't know what is left of Deontay Wilder. If he's anywhere near the Deontay Wilder that knocked out Dominic Brazil, and I just don't see if that's possible. If he's that Deontay Wilder, then Helenius hasn't got a hope in hell. But if he's anything short of that, and he's lacking confidence, and he doesn't get his jab moving, and he's not throwing that right hand with the same sort of conviction. If he's not throwing the right hand with the same conviction, and Helenius is able to sneak a good right hand in early, and he's able to get his confidence up, this could be a dangerous fight for Deontay Wilder. And because of the uncertainty of this fight, if Wilder is anywhere remotely near the fighter that I know of him or what I've seen of him, then he's tailor-made for Robert Helenius. But I still also think that Robert Helenius is there, and he's got a good chance against Deontay Wilder because Helenius has got the boxing ability. See, he's saying here that Fury didn't break Wilder, not even close. Well, I don't know if you can make that assumption until Wilder's in the ring on the night. That's why I like Deontay Wilder, but see fights like that, I don't know how much Wilder's got left. Or what his ambition is in boxing still. I don't know. So everyone's entitled to their opinion. Fury without his doctor, he's nothing. Well, I said, I think I mentioned that before. But that the damage that was done in that fight, I don't think is one that can be overlooked. I've talked about things being overlooked in boxing before, and this is something I will not overlook. The damage that Wilder sustained in that third fight against Fury. In fact, there was 3 fights of Fury, but the third fight in particular, I'm still concerned with. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I'm still concerned with it. I didn't like it. I didn't like what I saw. I really didn't like it. But we'll see. We'll see. If Helenius can push Wilder back, and I said, when I say push him back, I don't just mean run forward, but if you can push him back, force him back, and make it an ugly fight, it could be very interesting. Defensively, I've never been. Wilder's offense and his defense is with that right hand. You know, he does set traps. But again, I think Robert Helenius is a good boxer. I do think he's a good boxer. And Robert Helenius sets his own traps as well. But I said, if the Nordic Nightmare comes out there looking to sign autographs or wants an autograph signed by Deontay Wilder, he will get absolutely blasted out of there. So I am not one of these guys that are so passionate about a fighter that I cannot see the damage a fighter sustained. I can't do that, and I'm not going to start doing it. No way. He took a lot of punishment in those 3 fights with Fury, you know, and we can't be on one hand saying, oh, well, the gloves and his doctor and stuff on one hand, but on the other hand, you're seeing the damage the guy is taking and saying, yeah, with Fury's nothing without his doctor. So if Fury has done what he's done, with that argument I'm using, then there's damage that has been done, because the damage has been done. If we're going from the basis of what we're saying or what has been suggested about his Fury and his doctor and the punching power and the glove gate, all that stuff, if that's the case, then Wilder sustained a lot of damage. He sustained a lot of damage. So that's my concern in this fight. How much damage has Wilder sustained? What's his intention of his comeback? I'm not even comfortable, with him even fighting Andy Ruiz unless he deals with Helenius in a manner and a fashion. If it's a 8-10, we go back to the Duhaupas fight. That's another example. It was Duhaupas that knocked out Helenius, I think. We go back to the Duhaupas fight. And Duhaupas was a guy that a lot of people thought Wilder would get out in a few rounds. And I said, Duhaupas is going to be a dangerous fight for Deontay Wilder. It's going to be a dangerous fight for Deontay Wilder in the sense that this guy's going to stick around. This guy's going to stick around. And he swelled up Wilder's left or right eye. It was a tough fight for Wilder, one of his toughest fights in his career. So I am concerned for Deontay Wilder in this fight. I am. But just truth be told, I am concerned about him for this fight because it's the I don't knows, and I don't want to know, and I don't want to find out the ugly side of boxing against Robert Helenius. Do you understand? Because everyone will jump out and say, "Oh, it's just a hype job anyway. It's just a hype job." When you could say, you know what, let's build this guy's confidence up. Let's get this guy back on the road again. And then you can go for guys like Robert Helenius and blast Robert Helenius out. Because you blast Robert Helenius out, okay, fine. But you can't go backwards. It'll just be forward momentum. So after Helenius, it'll be Andy Ruiz. And for me, just me, I would like to see Wilder. I would like to see what Wilder looks like against a guy that's not the whole last chance saloon, because in last chance saloon, people can talk a good game and get blown out. Those aren't the people in the heavyweight history I'm concerned about. The people in heavyweight history I'm concerned about is those guys in the last chance saloon, and there's many of them in the heavyweight division that have come of yesteryear, have come along, and you know your heavyweight history. These guys get last chance saloon. Oh, you know, he's out down now. You forget him, you know. And then this guy comes out and he puts on a performance which is considered an upset. So, and there's lots of reasons to say there could be an upset in this fight. But there's also reasons to say, well, Wilder will go on blow out Helenius. But as I said, the Deontay Wilder I remembered blown out was the guy that knocked out Dominic Brazil, the guy that knocked out Luis Ortiz. That guy there, with all his confidence in him. I don't know what this guy's confidence is like. We can look good in sparring. We can look good on pads. But the ring walk, getting in the ring, getting hit again on the chin in a big fight, all those things. Will he start thinking about the Fury fight again? Don't know. But it's just all these things I've got to ask. All these things I've got to ask. I don't know. But I said, if Wilder's anything near the Deontay Wilder I remember, he knocks Robert Helenius out, and he knocks him out with inside 4 rounds. If Helenius is tricky, he could nullify that right hand. In a number of ways. And he sparred with Wilder. So Helenius is either one of two things in this fight. He's either the guy that's going to get hit and fall over and the fight will be over quick, or he's coming to cause the upset. It's one or the other for me in this fight. I don't know which one. Seeing him now, Wilder shrunk down to his normal size, very sleek as normal, but we need to see his punches and how his legs are, whether he still has the spring in his legs. That's the thing. And AJ, for all you say about AJ, yeah, he got beat up by Ruiz. First fight, the second fight was okay. Then the 2 fights he had against Ruiz, the 2 fights he had against Usyk, he wasn't getting beat up by a 19-stone man. There's a difference. Did Fury break Wilder mentally? If not, I wonder if Wilder could go right to the top of the heap again with that atom bomb right. Maybe Fury was Wilder's kryptonite. Who knows? 50-50 fight. LOL. I'm not suggesting this is a 50-50 fight. I'm going 60-40 in Wilder's favor. But I don't analyze fights based on And this is the way I'm analyzing this fight. I'm basing it on Wilder 2022. I'm not basing it on Wilder 2020 or 2019 or before he fought Tyson Fury. I'm not talking about that guy. I'm talking that guy who's been out in the ring for a while, that guy who took a lot of punch off Tyson Fury and was knocked out. That guy I'm talking about, coming back to fight Robert Helenius, who's just come off 2 good wins against Adam Kawanaki. The same Adam Kawanaki, by the way, that there were people on this same channel that said, yeah, Kawanaki is a good fight for Wilder. I said, Wilder will absolutely smash Kawanaki into tomorrow. And Helenius went and did that to Kawanaki. You fight with your face, that's what's going to happen. The second fight was brutal too, blood coming out of his ear. Yep, those are the things I'm looking at. I will say this, one thing, a positive drug test occurred in Fury's career, so he can be considered a linear champion with that. Can he be considered a linear champion with that? Well, no. People will push that under the carpet. But believe me, if it was Deontay Wilder, it'd be another thing. Interesting to see Wilder's weight, it would be. Ruiz hits to the back of the head. Ruiz is the old school pro. He'll do all sorts of stuff. Usyk will be at the fight. I hope he's a man of his word and will fight Wilder like he said. LOL, Wilder and AJ. You ain't never heard AJ say it's do or die. I'm not comparing AJ to Wilder. I never have done. I never will do. Yeah, so I'm comparing Wilder to Wilder. In fact, I'm comparing Wilder, and I've said it, and I'll repeat it. This is Wilder 2022. And if I'm going to do an analysis of a boxing bout, I don't use Wilder 2020 to compare to Wilder 2022. Can't do that. So I'm not comparing him to AJ. And at no point in time have I compared Wilder to AJ. And I never will. Two different mentalities. I couldn't. You know? Yeah, I couldn't. So, yeah, I'm not sure where that comment's going, but I just think at the end of the day, mentality is mentality. And Wilder was always a cocksure, very confident, braggadocious type of guy with his punching power, and he would intimidate people. And when Mike Tyson was knocking guys out, the aura of invincibility, when he got knocked up by James Buster Douglas, the aura of invincibility left him, and guys thought they could have a go. Some guys still got knocked out, but the aura of invincibility of Mike and the aura of invincibility with Deontay Wilder has well and truly gone. And Wilder, say what you want about Tyson Fury, in 2 fights, he dropped Fury. And in 2 fights, Fury is able to get up. Don't ask me how. Do not ask me how he did it. Get up for them knockdowns. The one knockdown that I don't understand how that man got up from was not the first fight where he knocked him down in the 12th round. It's not that one. It's the knockdown in the third fight where he hit Fury so damn hard his whole body vibrated. That knockdown. That one looked more savage because you see the way you could always see the flab on Fury's body. He shook. That punch right there. I don't know how Fury got up from that. I thought he was done. But it's shown. A guy can get up, and knock Wilder out. And Deontay Wilder, he's another guy that has been knocked down early in his career and got up and knocked a guy out. I think he would have been Harold Sconia's knocked him down. So, I don't know. We'll see. This fight is a true crossover for both guys. Whoever loses goes back to the back of the line and builds or Cade into obscurity. Possibly. Mike Tyson, Constantine Harris, Sonny Liston, when they lost their first fight, they were never the same. Let's see how Wilder is different to the above or more the same. Manny Pacquiao got absolutely splattered by Marquez and still came back and got dudes out. So there are guys who can get knocked flat out and come back and still do the business. Is Wilder one of them guys? We'll wait and see. Helenius can bang, but he's a bit of a coward fighter. Yeah, like I said, he's one of them guys, Helenius. If you give him confidence, he'll jump all over you. If you look at Helenius when he started his career, the Nordic Nightmare, he was knocking guys out. He looked quite good at right hand as well. I don't know. Helenius has got to go for it. I know how, the doctor. I don't know how few you say the doctor, but I don't know what that doctor gave Fury to him to get up for them punches. But whatever he has given, I don't know what it is. I don't know if growth hormones do that. I don't know if PEDs do that. I mean, I don't even know how the body is able to, you should be knocked out unconscious and you're able to beat being knocked out unconscious. I mean, I don't know how it's done because, I don't know. I think if Wilder had hit anyone else with that fat jingling shot, he might have left the ring on a stretcher, but somehow, the Undertaker rose again. That's the thing, somehow. Bigger. I don't know. It's just one of them fights. I don't know. So, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but on this fight, I don't believe Helenius beats Wilder on points. If he's going to beat Wilder, he'll beat him by knockout. That's it. If Wilder knocks out Helenius, I'm not surprised. If Helenius knocks out Wilder, I'm not surprised. It's like that for me. It's one of them fights. That's how I see it, honestly. I think the knockdowns Fury suffered in the third fight were harder on Fury than the ones in the first fight. Yeah, but they also said that Fury wasn't. Fury didn't train the same way as he trained for the first fight and the second fight. That's what I heard. I'm hoping Malik Scott has done his job and improved Wilder. I hope so too. If Wilder can come out and use that jab and disrupt Helenius' work and let that right hand go, that's what I want to see. But I got no faith in Malik Scott whatsoever. No faith. Absolutely none. How big of a shock would it be if Helenius stops him? Would it be bigger than AJ Ruiz? No, not really, because AJ was unbeaten when he fought Ruiz, and it was his coming out party. Wilder's been beaten 3 times now, or twice, and he's been knocked out in his last fight. So it wouldn't be a surprise there for me. Good thing Ingram has a chin of iron. He has never been dropped like that. Man of steel. Good on you, Ingram. I think Wilder KOs him Brazil style. Well, that's what I see. I do see that Brazil style because of the way that Helenius fights. He's got an X on his head. The way he fights, he's got that gap between his left hand and his. All right, let me show you what I mean by that. Maybe I can. Let me take this. Let me bring this. Stop the screen. I'll show you what I mean by that. When Helenius boxes, you see through the middle here, right there. You see when Helenius boxes through this, like through the window. This is, let's imagine here. This is the guard. Straight down the middle is where Helenius will get cracked for that right hand. Because the way Helenius fights, straight for the middle. And you see how Helenius likes to drop that left hand. He likes to drop that left hand here. Straight through the middle is where I see that right hand coming. 1, 2, straight for the middle. And good night, Helenius. That's what I see it. No faith in Malik Scott or Ingram. None. Yeah, he's still new. I've got no faith in Malik Scott. None. 0. You imagine the biggest fight of Wilder's career, the comeback, that fight. He was unable to guide Wilder from having Fury on the canvas. He was unable to get Wilder to get back on that jab, which was working. He was in the corner and he saw what was working for Wilder, and he did not use it. He did not tell Wilder to keep using the jab because it was the jab that was causing Fury problems. That jab, and then he was blinding Fury with the jab and throwing the right hand straight for the middle. Look at when he was knocking Fury down. And he just neglected the jab. And that's how Fury got back into the fight. He was allowing Fury to back him up. So I ain't got no time for Malik Scott. None whatsoever. Wilder ain't crushing the gym like Conor Benn. No, he's not. I hope not, anyway. Many say Helenius is tailor-made for Wilder, but the question is Wilder's processing and reaction time. That's what I'm saying. Wilder needs to try and walk Wilder. Helenius needs to try and walk Wilder down. It's the only chance he's got. That's it. I've said it. Smash the like button. Joshua Sawyer. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for that. I'm glad Wilder and Fury is still alive after that fight. One of the best fights of our time. It was indeed. Yes, the Wilder work to the body early on was paying dividend, and using the jab was great work, but then he reverted to type. He reverted to type because that's where Malik Scott, as a trainer, should step and said, no, we're not going there. If we're going to win this fight, we're going to stick on the jab. Why are you not using the jab? When he came back to the corner and said, look, you're not using the jab. Malik Scott sat in that damn corner. It was the Malik Scott show, and I ain't got no time for it. So I don't expect to see. I mean, how long were they preparing for that fight with Fury? How long did they have to prepare for that fight? So I don't want to hear nothing about no damn Malik Scott. But I don't. Because if Malik Scott was the one who put that jab up and down on him, it was the jab to confuse Fury, then why did they move away from the jab? And you as a trainer should be able to say, you know what, step and say, you know what, you're not using the jab. Else what you pay your trainer for? Your trainer, your eyes is your second set of eyes in there. When I go back to the corner, I go back in the corner, sit. My trainer said, right, okay, keep your right hand up. This guy's throwing the left hook, he's going to throw the left hook, counter. Or he may say, look, this is going to throw the uppercut. Or you know what, he's doubling up the jab, but when he doubles the jab, when he throws the second jab, he's dropping his hand. He might jab once and he's jabbing, but he's not bringing his hand back. Throw the right hand over the top. So that's what your trainer will tell you. You go back to course, right, trainer said that to me. Consider it. So you're using your jab and you're feinting and you're looking for spots. You're looking for him to throw. And as soon as he drops that, as soon as his hand drops, bang, straight the right hand goes straight through. That's a trainer working with a fighter. That's how that should work. But if your trainer's not doing that, what the hell is your trainer looking at? What is your trainer seeing? So those are my thoughts there, Malik Scott. I don't know if you've mentioned this before, but I want to thank you, Ingram, for giving us one of the few impartial boxing channels and give us the knowledge. Literally, I try to be impartial, man. I don't care who the fighter is. I try and be impartial. I'm not. Nah, I disagree. Malik will show his finesse this fight. Bloody hell. Bro. I used to have Malik Scott on this channel as a fighter. I was the one guy after Malik Scott got beat by Derek Chisora on this channel. So Malik Scott and I go back years. And the way I knew about Malik Scott was because of Uncle Bashir. So I can go way back and tell you about Malik Scott. Way back about Malik Scott. So no. Positioning. That's what I call it. Positioning. You would have thought in all the camps Malik Scott's been in, he's been in this camp and that camp and this camp and that camp. He found himself in Usyk's camp as well. Positioning. And all that time he was in camp with Wilder to prepare. You train or sit there and say, all right, you're losing your shape here, bro. You're losing your shape. Get back on the jab. Get back on the jab. You'll hear it. You'll hear trainers say, get back on the jab. Manager will say, get back on the jab. Get back on the jab. We didn't hear that. So no, I don't. I'm not a Malik Scott fan. Sorry. How great would Wilder be with a great heavyweight trainer? I've said it before. If you had a great heavyweight trainer, you'd be looking at a great heavyweight fighter. And he's got, who was a trainer? He had Mark Breedlin before. No disrespect to Mark Breedlin, but he's not a great heavyweight trainer. He's a good trainer, but he's a great heavyweight trainer. Imagine him working with a great. Could you imagine if like Deontay Wilder had like something like an Eddie Futch in his corner, like how he did Riddick Bowe? Imagine Wilder with Eddie Futch, a James Ali Bashir. Imagine with a great heavyweight trainer. Same with Joshua. If Usyk fights Wilder, Usyk will mentally tire Wilder out with his lateral movement. He'll hit so many times with the backhand. Let's just see how Wilder does against Helenius first, huh? Do you think an up jab could be of any use to Wilder in this fight? Helenius is a better boxer than Deontay Wilder. He's a better pure boxer than Wilder. He's a better boxer than Wilder, I think, in my opinion. He's a better boxer. What Wilder has is that one-punch equalizer. Breland was a snake. I agree with you, Malik. But Wilder isn't the smartest guy. He probably doesn't have a great aptitude for learning. Very limited. I think same thing with Dillian Whyte. I don't know how much Buddy McGirt's going to impart on Dillian Whyte. Eddie Futch would have really had Wilder doing some good stuff. Could you imagine Eddie Futch working that jab with Wilder? Oh my God. Hey, bro. Hey, Barry, what's going on, man? Don't see much of you in there. I think George Foreman would have been Wilder's best coach. Yeah, I've talked about Foreman many a times on this channel about Foreman being a good. I don't know if he'd been a great trainer. I think he'd been a good mentor for Wilder, a good mentor, particularly through the whole Fury situation. I think he'd been a good mentor. So yeah, that's it. I want to close off this show here, but thank you all so much. As always, don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments in the comment section. And yeah, I really do appreciate you all. Do smash the like button. The more you like, the more you like the video, the more it gets shared. The more it gets shared, the more views I get. The more views I get, then obviously the channel gets more notoriety. Only just got the notification, bro. How long you been live? What you need to do? Oh yeah, on this little subject here of notification. Please, when this show finishes, do yourself a favor. Do me a favor, as Frank would say. Do yourself a favor. Go onto YouTube. When you go to my channel, go to subscribe. And then when you go to where you've got the notification bell, make sure you click all. Not personalized, but all. I suggest all subscribers do it, because do that. When you click all, that means you're getting the notifications. You watching Haney Kambosos? I don't know. I expected Kambosos to knock Haney out, because I just don't rate Haney's chin. In fact, I don't rate Haney at all. I think he's very decent. He's decent. That's it. I don't think he's great. I think he's decent. But Kambosos boxes like a whole heap of pile of crap. So we'll see what he does. I don't care much about the fight. Wilder won the Olympics. You need aptitude for that. But a right hand can spoil any fighter. That's why they hated him for it. Yeah. I'm not, listen. When did Wilder win those Olympics? You see, bro, this is when did he win those Olympics? And we're in 2022 now. Yeah. Wilder won a bronze medal. He won a bronze medal. He started late, but he won a bronze medal. He didn't win a gold medal, he won a bronze medal. And for the record, Audie Harrison won a gold medal, but that didn't mean much. I remember interviewing Wilder the night or the morning of the night of the fight for the Harrison fight. Yeah. I remember that. And Harrison got blasted out and around. So, yeah. Do me a favor, I'm crushing in the gym. Will do. Yeah, Haney good skills, but his chin is questionable. Kambosos will have to try and take far more risk in this fight to get inside the larger Haney, who will clench and nullify inside work. A great trainer means nothing if the fighter won't listen. Bang on money. I mentioned that already. Agreed, Siobhan. I've said that. I've said that about Dillian Whyte. So does Wilder listen? Does he listen? Don't know. Wilder's an ignorant guy, comes across like that. Well, you will know, because if he blows out his ass again, he was blown out his ass in the second round against Fury for the third fight. And I don't know if Wilder will train as hard now as he did back then. I wonder, because even back then they were saying he was cutting corners. So I don't know. I love Wilder, most exciting fighter in boxing, period. But he has his shortcomings. Audie Harrison won a gold medal and Deontay Wilder bronze. Bruv, it is what it is. F out of here. Wilder ain't ignorant. Well, in all the years he's been, I don't really want to get into that, but what I will know is that elite trainers, I'm not talking about Uncle James Elvis here, elite trainers have spoken to me in confidence about Deontay Wilder in camp. So I'll leave it as that. Is Eubank Senior in bad health? No, he's in good health. He's in South Africa with his wife. Mentally, I heard. Well, we'll see. Haney is a good fighter, but not great. You can't keep seeing a guy's average, but he proves you wrong and you still don't rate him. He's not for me. I'm just honest. I'm not going to sit here and tell you. Haney doesn't do it for me. He just doesn't. I just don't see it in him. I'm just being honest. I just don't see him. Is he a guy that I would run home to watch? No. Is he a guy I'm going to stay up till 4:00 in the morning and watch? No. Is he a guy that, I would refer other fighters to go and watch? No. Is he a guy that I think is defensively great? No. If you look at Haney, after about 5 rounds, you look at him, he kind of reminds me of Amir Khan. Khan starts fast, and then after about 4 rounds, he just, the hands start coming down by the sides, it's easier to hit. I'm just not a Haney fan. I'm making it clear. I'm not biased. I just don't think he's that good. That's it. And I'm not on a bandwagon. I'm not pleasing people. Since I've moved out and come to Africa over the 2 years, I'll tell you something. I'm less inclined to, what's the word? Africa's taught me a lot of things. And I'll tell you now, it's made me even more indignant. Yeah? That's the word I will say, indignant. Seeing a lot of rubbish out here. And when it comes back to opinions, these are my opinions. You don't have to agree with my opinions, but this is my opinions. And this is how I feel. And I'm not apologizing to anybody for how I feel. That's just the way it is. I've had my channel since God knows how many years. And I'm going to stay consistent. This is how I feel. If I'm not feeling as a fighter, I'll just tell you, I'm not feeling as a fighter. That doesn't mean that fighter's not a good fighter. It's just not for me. And Haney is one of those guys that's not for me. Sorry. An ignorant Fury, ignorant White, none of them will give you the time of day. LOL, they're these guys. AJ's ignorant, Fury's ignorant, White's ignorant. Well, ignorant is the word. Maybe uncoachable. Or Fury's different. AJ is a man in his own world doing his own thing. I'll break it down. AJ, as far as I'm concerned, is a man in his own world who isn't with the realities of what boxing is. He's in his own world. Therefore, the decisions he makes isn't in the reality of what is good for him in terms of the sort of trainers you should have and the path you should take. For Fury, as far as I'm concerned, he will take what he can from you, and then when he feels that he's got enough from you, will discard you. Dillian Whyte, he's been knocked out, twice by an uppercut, the same punch. Arguably, he had the same trainer in the corner as well. He got knocked by the uppercut both times. So is that a technical thing? Oh, he also got knocked up. He also got dropped by the uppercut by Oscar Rivas. So 3 fights that he's been hit with the same punch, knocked out by the same, or he's dropped by the punch and then knocked out by an uppercut. So is that learning? I don't know. So ignorant, uncoachable. I don't know. The current camp, Wilder has put in more conditioning than ever. Well, let's see fight night. Let's see fight night. Ingram, what's your thoughts on apparently Wilder never doing rope work? Well, I've heard he didn't do rope work, didn't like to do a lot of running. In fact, Evander Holyfield was another one that didn't like to do a lot of running. So they're different theories. Some fighters, some trainers say they don't like it because they don't like it on the fighter's knees. I've heard a lot of top trainers say they don't like the fighters going running because of their knees. And they'll say, well, he's not a marathon runner. Why is he running that long? He can do sprint work instead. So I've heard lots of theories, but it is what it is. Wilder hitting all this road work this camp because he knows he got tired in the last fight. Yeah. Let's hope that he is able to. Let's hope that he's just better than he was against Fury. Will Checker beat Haney if they fight? I think he will. I don't think Haney beats Tank or Lopez or Shakur, and I agree he's boring, but he's better than average. Well, you mentioned all those guys there, and then I'm going to mention a guy like Colonel Whitaker, and even Oscar De La Hoya when he fought at lightweight. I could talk a lot about many lightweights we could talk about. That these guys you mentioned here are good. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. People were calling Haney, Lopez, Garcia, and Tank the four kings of today. Hell no. Then reality hit. Good fighters, but they have not taken the risk necessary to be great. No, they haven't. So that's where I'm not into all that. I'm not into that. I'm not into the hyping fighters because they're not getting good media. I'm not into that. I'd like to see these fighters do more interviews with the smaller channels and like do one-on-ones. I'd like to see him do that personally. I've seen Wilder jump rope. He's lighter now, back to original weight. He's back. Well, you know what? I'll reserve judgment until the night of the fight. He blasts Helenius out of there like, I'm like, okay. All right. Now this is looking tasty. Now I can line my cards up again. But I don't know. So I don't know. So the jury's out until the jury's back in. So for this one, forgive me, but love Wilder, but I just want to see what he does this fight. Haney gives most fighters a competitive fight, but he's not elite. He's just very decent. You don't like his style? Hell no. No, I don't like his style. Who, Haney? No, I don't like his style at all. I don't like it. Do not like it. Do not like it. Wilder's a Hall of Famer. Oh, the haters don't like that. No, he's a Hall of Famer. Oh, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. What do you know about the drug Ben has taken? All I know is that I did a show called, what's the name of the show? I'll tell you the name of the show. Go and check it out. I think I've got it on my banner somewhere. Let me get the show up for you. Hello Testing, I think it was called. Hey guys, yeah. This is the name of the show. Check it out. How fighters build strength. Check it out. It's a doctor talking about it. Check it out. It's on BWTM Sports. So I did that. There you go. Yeah, I like Shakur Stevenson. I like him. White should have stayed with Mark Tibbs. Yeah. To build AJ, how long would you have him on the men before challenging for titles? 2 years, 3 years? Well, he's not an old guy, is he? And he hasn't taken that much punishment. With AJ, it's upstairs with him. I don't think it's physical. I've always said it. It's up here with him. It's what he believes or what he's led to believe. He needs to change that before anything else. Conor Benn could have taken more roids than Big Baby Miller. We'll never know. Ban him and strip Eddie of his license. Very interesting. Now, I follow him on social media. He's been doing miles on the track for months. Okay. Do you like Shakur Stevenson? Yeah, I love Shakur Stevenson, the fighter. I like the way he fights. So I like the way Shakur fights. I like the way Shakur fights, but I love the way he fights. But now listen to this. He's not a guy, again, that I'd rush home to see fight. Do you know what I mean? I prefer Ryan Garcia because there's that element of danger with him. There's an element of danger with him. He'll get clipped, you know? Him, Ryan Garcia. And I like Tank as well. Tank and Ryan Garcia, I'd much rather watch those two guys fight. But if you're looking at pure boxing, Stevenson. Class. Haney has to fight the way he does because he can't punch. It would not be advantageous to fight any other way. I agree. Watching the Eubank show after this live. Please do. Enjoy. Do you remember when Haney asked Lars if he thought he had punch power? And Lars was like, yeah. I remember that one. What's the funniest, best commentary of a fight you've heard? Probably what a monster this man Tyson is. Bruno's face already heavily marked. But fighting back and he's hurt Tyson. He's hurt Tyson. And Tyson knows it, but he's going for it. What a start to this fight. You hit him with a good left. He knows he can hurt him now. Get in there, Frank. And Tyson looks disturbed. Harry Carpenter, BBC commentary against Mike Tyson, Frank Bruno, the first fight. I mean, if you're talking about biased commentary, right there, Harry Carpenter, get in there, Frank. If that there is probably one of the funniest bits of commentary I've heard. Or Adam Smith, Joshua is down. Or maybe when Chavez got dropped by Frankie Randall? Chavez is down. Chavez is down. That was good as well. Shakir's quality. Tank would blast Ryan out in 3 rounds. Tank is a good boxer as well, but when you're a puncher, you never get credit for your boxing. Yeah, I'd love to see that fight. I still would love to see those two guys fight. What was the Wilder interview like before Harrison? You still have it? Yeah, it's still there. It was good. It was when Wilder, that's just when I was telling you, I told myself and Wilder had we had a back and forth for a while via social media. And we were talking to one of our social media. And I came out and said, that was when he fought Dustin, whatever the guy was. I said, you can't be fighting these dustbin guys and expecting to get credit for it. I mean, you fight somebody decent and I'll give you credit for it. And then he beats Stavern for the title. And when he beats Stavern for the title, I said, you know what? Congratulations, champ. And I reached out to him. Yeah, and from that point onwards, I became a Wilder support. I became a Wilder supporter from that day onwards. So yeah. So that's been my story of Deontay Wilder. And when we did that interview, it was the night of it's on. If you go BWTM Sports, Deontay Wilder. Yeah, it was a good interview. I enjoyed talking to Wilder, although I knew that there was he wasn't best pleased with me because of what I'd said, but I was speaking the truth. I was speaking the truth at the time, and that was when he got knocked down by Harold Sconius, and then he took that video off of YouTube. Alexa Shaky Adam. Ronna McIntosh, if a funny commentator of recent times. Yes, Skeletor. I know Ronna's a good guy. Met him a few times. Not in boxing, believe it or not, in cricket. And AJ's tettering and tottering again. His American dream's coming to a nightmare in front of his capacity ground. Oh no! Adam Smith. Anyone telling Frank to get inside of Mike and death wish for Bruno. Get in there, Frank. Did you enjoy going to the press conference for fights? No. Hated them. No, tell a lie. I liked going to Frank Warren press conferences. I love Frank Warren press conferences. Yeah, I like them. They were cool. I like getting in Eddie's car with fighters who's bringing over. I like getting in Eddie's car. That was for Eddie Hearn's car with Carson Jones. And yeah, I enjoyed that. That was fun. When Eddie didn't want me to come to the press conference, but I came to the press conference anyway with Carson Jones. That was fun. That was some funny shit right there. Real funny shit. Real funny. Real funny. What does Ronald like cricket? Yeah, he was there. Actually, he was covering the fire in Babylon. The West Indies cricket team were there to promote the West Indies. There was Gordon Greenidge, Michael Holding. Who else? I think Joel Garner and somebody else. But I got to talk to Michael Holding, and he was furious. I was talking about West Indies cricket, and he went off on one. Good guy, Michael Holding. And Ronald McIntosh was there as well. So, yeah. Did you ever go to Mick Hennessy presser? Mick Hennessy. Good guy. Like Mick. Good guy. Like Mick. Got a lot of time for Mick. Good guy. Mick Hennessy. Shout out to Mick Hennessy, by the way. Ingram, off topic. What is Peter Fury like? What is he like in interviews? Quite a down-to-earth guy. Peter Fury is one of the... I don't want to say one of the nicest guys in boxing because that's not what I would say. He cares about fighters. He's the type of guy. And I've got the utmost respect for him in boxing. Like utmost respect. Utmost respect. Peter Fury. You know, a man of his word. Gave me opportunities. Before people were doing Skype interviews, I was getting Skype interviews with Tyson Fury. Yeah. So it's because of Peter Fury. It was him. So at the time it was Tyson Fury, Hughie Fury, Dave Allen, Eddie Chambers. So every time, Peter would make sure I was able to get to the pressers. He'd make sure there was no issues on the doors. Peter is the man. He's still the man. I got a lot of time for Peter Fury. You know what I mean? A lot of time. He's a top man. I've not spoken to him for a long time, right? And that's just how it's been. But if I just called him, if I said, Peter, hey, how you doing? How's life? And I called him, he'd be the same Peter Fury, I'm sure. You know, no nonsense, straight up guy. I've got a lot of love for that man. A lot of love for Peter Fury. A lot of love. Carson Jones versus Kell Brook turned out to be a good fight, but when it was announced, a lot of people didn't think it would be that good. It was Carson Jones, actually, Ted Cheeseman. Ever go to a Richard Proxon presser? Well, I went to Stavern versus Joyce. So there was Poxon and all them lot, Poxon, Maynard, but I got a lot of time for Don King. I'll say that much. Shields called Peter Fury a load of shit for being at 0-0, saying other fighters are. I think Peter in that situation was just the whole psychological thing. When I saw what was being said at that presser, right, and I saw how Shields and the team were talking, it was psychological for Savannah Marshall. So she didn't get into the trap of thinking, you know what, I've been fighting girls that are lesser. You know, that's psychological right there. So Pete was jumping in and trying to shoot that down. So Pete will take the shit. So Savannah will keep her mind sharp. That's what it is. Is Savannah Marshall is mentally weak? I don't know. But I certainly know that he was doing what he was doing to protect his fighter. So that is why I believe Peter said what he said in that context. What's boxing like? Don't know. Didn't really talk to him. I'm absolutely mesmerized. Now I can see what the hype was all about. Carl Froch commented the Mayweather Pacquiao fight. Yeah. So I can't say anything bad about anybody, but there are some people that I know never had my best interests at heart, and I never did them any wrong, but they out and out didn't have any sort of like, I know who they are. I know exactly who they are. So did I enjoy watching Froch? Absolutely. Carl Froch, yes. Actually, I've actually seen Carl Froch's house. There you go, right there. See? I've seen Froch's house. Yeah. TMT signed Savannah Marshall and she shelved her for the best part of a year. So glad when she got out that death contract. Yep, check that interview out on BWTM Sports. That's when I also met Savannah Marshall as well. Met Savannah twice or three times. Lovely girl. Really nice girl. If AJ loses his next fight, no matter who he is, his career is over. Am I crazy? No, I don't think his career is over because I think they're going to want to get their investment back in AJ. That's what I think happens. Have I ever met Eddie Hearn? Did an interview with the man. You check out the interview on BWTM Sports. When you were fighting, how much of a hassle was it dealing with the business side of boxing? Never turned pro. Oh, I did have my trainer. My trainer trained Barry Jones, Steve Robinson. So that was Ronnie Rush. The business side of boxing, I've learned a lot about the business side of boxing from pro trainers and guys working at the high end of boxing. So I personally haven't been in the business of boxing, but I've seen fighters in the pro business of boxing. So yeah. Did you go in his house? No. No, CRB1. He's still that wild. He still needs that wild ass whipping. Yes, big up. Is Tyson Fury, as he's in interviews, very high energy? Have you seen him when he's super quiet? When the first interview I did with Tyson Fury, within the first 15 minutes, I worked him out, like in terms of what the game was about. And 1 minute he's talking very, very calm and relaxed. And then the next minute he's very high end and, he's shouting and screaming like a WWF wrestler. And from there early on, I said, So when I did interviews with Tyson, watch him very carefully. I remember saying, he said to me, try to hear me out. He said to me, oh yeah, you said that I couldn't. You said that, Derek, what do you know about boxing? 1 minute he told me I know about boxing. Then he said to me, what do you know about boxing? He said, you said Derek Chisora would beat me. I said, well, based on what Chisora was doing, that overhand right, and the way you were getting dropped by Cunningham and by Nevin Pajcek, why didn't you box Derek Chisora? Why did you box southpaw against Derek Chisora? To take away his right hand, right? So he smiled. I said, but hold on, didn't I back you to beat Vladimir Klitschko? And he turned and said, yeah, that's true. I said, well, there you go then. So it's either I don't know about boxing or I do know about boxing. So, yeah, nice guy, Tyson. Cool dude. Cool dude, Tyson. I don't know. I know Tyson up to the point of when the IBF were going to strip him of his title. That was the last interview I did with Tyson Fury. And then again, after that, he was in my area, but different management took over. He was no longer with Peter Fury, and then I actually sat right next to John Fury. Sat right next to John Fury when Hughie Fury fought the Larry Alibamaru. What was Customado like as a trainer? I wouldn't flipping know, would I? I still think in the YouTube special, Eddie Hearn jabs off Leonard Ellaby. I think on the street, Ellaby goes back to Baltimore and gets on Eddie. Nah, From what I understand, don't quote me on this, but from what I understand by people close to Ellaby, he's soft, very soft. No commercial fighters had 3 losses in a row in his 30s and got a touch shotgun. Nor will they ever. Commercially, it can't be done. You don't think so? Let me think. Commercially. 3 fights, lost and not come back. He's going to come back on that one. Come on, you sausage, Tyson quote. As long as the AJ's on the zone, that fight will never happen versus Wilder. They never wanted that fight, man. Not looking good for Ben. New report saying tested positive for the same drug before the Eubank bout. Okay, true. That's why he signed a lifelong contract for protection, coward. Who's the best boxing historian? Well, I don't know. They would say Bert Sugar, wouldn't they? They would say Bert Sugar, but I don't know. People promote their own narrative, don't they? How good do you think Savannah Marshall's chin is? We're soon going to fight out on Saturday night. Well, no. But the one thing I've said about this fight is that it's just the fact is Shield's speed, her speed of foot and hand, and the way Marshall at times moves like a mummy. I don't like it. And Peter Fury's not a magician. And I just think that Marshall puts herself in positions, especially when she pops her head down like that, to get caught. I just think that Shield's speed can cause Marshall all sorts of problems. I live in Baltimore. Eddie wouldn't step foot here without 20 guards. This isn't High Street. Nah, yeah, he wouldn't. Are you a boxing historian? Not really. I know some things about boxing. I won't call myself a historian. I'd say that I do know some things in boxing history, but I wouldn't sit down and call myself a boxing historian to start a YouTube channel and start going one-on-one or start saying, yeah, I am the boxing historian. I wouldn't do that. But, you know, I would use fights as a reference. Right, let me get out of here. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please do hit the subscribe button, like button. I really appreciate when you do. And when you smash the like button, please do, because it helps with the channel. Ultra Tech, Chris Andre Boxing, Hatman Strikes Back. Who would you recommend? Ultra Tech, Chris Andre, Hatman Strikes Back. Do you think Matchroom was better with Sky Sports? I think anyone's better with Sky Sports. Who would you recommend? People forget how good Stavern was. AJ was on camera saying, I'm not ready for Stavern yet. Wow. Thanks, bro. Yeah, that's what I said. When Wilder beat Stavern, that's when I turned around to Wilder and said, you know what? I rate you. I rate you. And you're no longer fighting dustbin guys. You are proven. You know what I mean? So that was it. Ultra all day, of course. Any boxing history, the one guy who was a great boxing historian, and he's passed away now, but in the beginning, when I was building, and the man that took him away, he knows who he is. When I was going behind the scene, I was building this BWTM sports, and he would have been my boxing historian. The guy was amazing, absolutely amazing. Passed away, American guy, YouTuber. I can't remember the gentleman's name again, but he knew his boxing inside out. I'm sure some of the guys know. Do you know about Archie Moore? Yes, I know about Archie Moore. In fact, Archie Moore, not the mongoose. You know, was not Archie Moore the one where he would move this way and then move that way and move this way? I remember, Archie Moore. The movement Usyk is why AJ ducked Ortiz. Kurt Anderson, that's the brother. I swear, as God is my witness, or my own life, yeah. Kurt Anderson, that brother right there, is going to bring him on the channel. And that was before he teamed up with someone else. Going to bring him on the channel. We were going to do sort of going to have him do a section where it was just like he would give me the history of boxing of certain fights before I talk about a fight. So it was going to be him, Bashir, Eugene. So there was a plan for it in place, but that was around the same time we were going to do that boxing game as well. But people got greedy, and karma happens. And I'm not going to mention who they are, but karma happens. And when you do certain things come back. Karma happens. That person's YouTube channel got abruptly shut down. I didn't do it, but that person abruptly shut down. Can't keep taking from people and go too far. So it is what it is. And I was pissed because when Kurt passed away, I was like, damn. And then when I see what the vision like me and Kurt had, I pissed. I tell you, really pissed. I don't like Chris, too agenda driven, but he knows boxing, and I respect guys who get in the ring. What do you mean agenda driven? What about Jack Johnson, the first black heavyweight champion? Wow. First heavyweight black heavyweight champion of the world. Jack Johnson, a bad man. Kurt News boxing, unbelievable how much. Yes, I'm saying. And if it wasn't for that guy in the middle, if it wasn't that guy who decided to try and steal the ideas, and he was part of the team, if he didn't steal the ideas, man, we've done some great shows with Kirk. It never happened. How did he pass? I don't know how he passed. I just heard about it and I didn't intrude. I just, when I heard about it, I was angry. I was like, that's a good man. Boxing lost a great man right there, Kurt Anderson. He thinks Conor Benn is a star in the US and Bakoli would give Wilder trouble. He said these things, so I can't listen to anymore. Such rubbish. Bakoli would give Wilder problems. Bakoli who fights with his face and has got no defense. And Ben is a star, for flip's sake. Fair enough. CRB one. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. What about Jake LaMotta with Sugar Ray Robinson? The Sugar Ray Robinson is my favorite fighter of all time, of all times. A lot of people jump about Muhammad Ali, and yes, Muhammad Ali's brother did. I did an interview with Muhammad Ali's brother. In fact, he called me and asked me to do an interview with him. Yes, I love Muhammad Ali, but Sugar Ray Robinson for me. Sugar Ray Robinson and what Ali did a lot of stuff for his people, but I like what Sugar Ray Robinson did as well. He employed a lot of people. And if there's an interview, there's a show I did where I went and saw my my good brother in the US. Another era of my life bygones, when I went to Chicago. And I went and saw Muhammad Ali. I was stood outside Muhammad Ali's house in Chicago. So it was outside Muhammad Ali's house. God, I went to Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's, the palace there. Elijah Muhammad saw his house. I met his son. So yeah, that was an era in my life in America. So yeah, it was amazing to see Muhammad Ali's house. It really was. And when I was in Grenada, I was able to touch the canvas which Muhammad Ali had his first professional fight on. But all that stuff is documented on BWTM. No worries. Appreciate it. Sure. And I am entitled not to respect those opinions that go too far. I know how he passed health issues. I'll leave it there. I'm so sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that. What about Henry Cooper? What about Henry Cooper? Flipping out Henry Cooper. What about Henry Armstrong? Henry Armstrong, his grandson was on this channel and he's a very good friend of mine. I need to bring Henry Armstrong back. Respect, Siobhan. Sonny Liston, yeah. How long would it take for me to learn cricket? Don't know. Come to Africa and I'll teach you. Come to Africa and I'll teach you. Or wait until I come back to the UK. Oh, I did at one point was in Los Angeles. Man, they've got they had a cricket team over in Los Angeles when I was over there. And wow. Yeah, it's Caribbean. They had a big West Indian community over there in Los Angeles. And they had their cricket over there they play their cricket on this absolutely amazing ground. Oh, so jealous I was. What happened to Sonny Liston? What happened to him? I don't know, but I think he was the mafia. I've heard various stories about him. There were some dark influences around Sonny Liston's life. That's what I heard. Did he take a dive? I heard some dark stories, but I don't know how true they are. No, I'll pull up to Africa. No cap. Yeah, come. You're more than welcome. Come to Nigeria. Come and see some stuff here, bro. Come see some stuff. A lot of young people here. You see in the videos that I got here, the stuff I'm doing. Yeah, man, I tell you, the amount of people I've seen before I come out to Africa were talking rah, 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 Africa, rah, 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 Africa. And I've come out here and the same people going rah, 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 Africa. As soon as I came out to Africa, more history, please. Yeah, but that's another story for another day. I'm definitely gonna talk about it. It's great to hear you speak about old fighters. Yeah, well, my favorite fight is Henry Armstrong. 333. Henry Armstrong. And yeah, Henry Armstrong and Sugar Ray Robinson. Them two guys there. Them two guys right there. And then there are other fighters I like that I don't talk about them much, but I really liked. When I was younger, I used to love Simon Brown. Love Simon Brown. Simon Brown. I used to follow Simon Brown when I was younger. Yeah. The Cuban Gooding Jr. film, Gladiator, best boxing film ever, as it was the most realistic about the amateur route to pro. Wow. If you ever get a chance as well, check out my interview with Glenn McCrory. There was a show I did with Glenn McCrory, and it was a dinner show, and it was Glenn McCrory talking about him sparring Mike Tyson. Man, that stuff there's that. Check out the interview I did with Ron Brashear. He talks about when he met Floyd Mayweather, and he's got opened his book up of all the greatest fighters in the world that he got signatures for. You've got to check that interview out as well. Check out the interview I did with Muhammad Ali's brother. That's an interview as well you need to check out. Have a listen to that. And if you ever do get a chance, historically talking about, I'll leave that for another day, actually. Let's not talk about that. Rocky Marciano. I don't know about Rocky, sorry. Eubank Senior interview, Ingram. Yeah, I don't know. What about Jack Dempsey? Jack Dempsey, black boots, black shorts, Mike Tyson's inspiration. Since we're asking anything, your opinion on Howard Eastman, Ingram? Howard Eastman, the Battersea Bomber, one of my favorite fighters. Howard Eastman, my trainer used to say I used to box like Howard Eastman. And I actually reached out to Howard recently. And I said to Howard, you know, they're saying that I box like you. I don't know if I take that as a compliment or insult. It says they're probably saying it because they're saying you're lazy. I said, I didn't know about I'm lazy. I don't know. Gordon Banks saw my first amateur bout. And really, even a guy of one eye could see. Corruption in box. Let me not even go there. Leave that right where it is. When I was 15, I was in the Bahamas for a basketball tournament. I saw a haggler at the bar, a pool hotel. He bought me a drink and encouraged me to start talking to a girl. I'll never forget it. Wow. I think his son's on social media. I want to try and get an interview with him as well. Yeah. Right, let me get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Guys, it's really lovely talking to you. I think at some point, John O'Sullivan, bro, forget it. I don't know anything about John O'Sullivan. Yeah, I've got to get out of here. But I think I have to start doing some of these off-the-cuff shows where I just talk about anything. Is the Sims Gym under the scope because of the Ben situation? Yeah, it probably will be. Joe Louis. Another one of my favorite fighters. The left hook. The way he got knocked out by Max Schmeling, the way he come back and knocked out Max Schmeling. Joe Louis. Right, I'm going to get out of here. By the way, please do get across to my new channel. I'm asking you all, please do subscribe to my new channel. This is my new channel. I'm going to play the clip. See, I'm always uploading that videos every week. I'm uploading videos so you can keep it updated and see what's going on there. Guys, thank you so much. And girls, really appreciate you. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the join button. And I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.